Hello, stampers and paper crafters. My name is Juanette, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. Thank you for joining me on my YouTube channel, Juanette's Paper Crafts. Today we are going to be making what I call a wallet, gift card, coin purse combo. This is a great little project for you to make to give to teachers or family members during the holidays. I have a Hostess code and it is going to be showing up right now. If you order through the month of November, please use this Hostess code. If you place a $25 order, you will get a free package of dimensionals from me. If you place a $50 order, before shipping and handling, you will get this package of red rhinestones. And if you order $75 worth of product, your name will be entered into a drawing for these hemostats, which I will show how I use them during crafting. Here are some pictures of the wallets and how I created them and how you would utilize them with your gift cards. There's room for 3 gift cards, an area for writing a sentiment, a place to put some cash or a note if you would like, and then on the other side like a little coin area pocket that I plan on putting chocolate in. Now, the paper I used for this project was primarily the wrapped plaid suite from the holiday catalog that is available right now. So what you're going to need to make these is you will need 2 pieces of 8 by 4¼ inch solid paper, and what I used is cherry cobbler. So along the 8-inch side, you will score at 4 inches, you will fold it and burnish it. And you will do that on both pieces of cardstock. Then to make the coin purse flap, you will need a piece of 4¼ by 2 inches and along the 2-inch side you will score at 1/2 of an inch, and then again fold it over and burnish it. And then you will need a piece of pattern paper that's 1¼ by 4 inches, and that will be so that you can mat over your solid cardstock. Now, to make the sides of the coin purse, you will need 2 pieces of 4 by 2½ inch pattern paper, and along the 2½ inch side you are going to score at 1/4 inch, 1¼ inch, and 2¼ inch, and you're going to do that on both of them. Your outer fold will be a mountain fold, the middle fold will be a valley fold, and then the last fold will be a mountain. So a mountain, a valley, a mountain fold. And you will do that with both pieces of paper. So then you will take one of your cherry cobbler pieces of cardstock, and you're going to glue that to the inside so that it will be the sides of your coin purse. I took liquid glue and applied it to that outer edge, which is about I believe that's 1/4 inch. Lined it up right up against the score line and against the edge, making sure that valley fold is on the inside. Then I took liquid glue, applied it on the other piece of cardstock to make the other side of the coin purse, and again lined it up on the score line there, but making sure that it wasn't over the score line so that I would be able to fold it over, just as you see there. Then I applied liquid glue to the other small flap there. And you could, if you wanted to, is apply glue on both of those small flaps on each side and fold it down together. But I only did one side at a time, making sure that that flap was concealed as much as possible. Now, it really doesn't matter that there is a little bit overhang there, because all you need to do is take a pair of scissors and snip that off. Now, to make the flap that will close that little coin purse, you apply your pattern paper over the top. Then I took double-sided 1/4 inch tape, applied it there to that little 1/4 inch edge on the inside. Then lined it up over the top of the coin purse and adhered it to the back. So now you can see that you have a nice little coin purse. So then take the other piece of your 8 inch by 4 inch piece of cardstock, and now we're going to make the wallet part. So you need a piece of 4 inch by 7 3/4 inch pattern paper, and this will go into the inside of the wallet. And what I did was just folded it over instead of scoring it, and then that was a way to make sure that my score line was even with both sides. And I apologize that you can't see the numbers at the top of the score board. I should have moved it down a little bit more into the view of the camera. However, the measurements are in the description box down below, and I'm also showing them to you on the screen. So what you're going to do is apply glue on 3 of the sides, 2 of the shorter sides, and the long side. And I just put a small amount because you want to make sure that your currency will be able to fit into that wallet. So what you're going to do is line up one side toward the bottom of the cherry cobbler cardstock, and both score lines lining up close to each other, but again, making sure that you're not over that one score line so that you are able to close the wallet. And you can see there's a small little border on both sides of the wallet. And then now we're going to make the pockets. So you will need one piece of 4" by 3" pattern paper for the larger pocket. You will need a piece of 4" by 2½ pattern paper for the middle pocket, and a piece of 4" by 2" pattern paper for the smallest pocket. So what you're going to do is take your largest piece of cardstock or paper first, and if it's directional, be careful in how the orientation is so that it will lay nicely inside of your envelope. So take whatever gift card that you're going to use, line it up on the inside of that piece of cardstock and draw a line across the bottom, and this is so you will know where to put your tear and tape. I used 1/4" tear and tape here, and the reason I used tear and tape as opposed to liquid glue is because this is a fairly tight fitting pocket so that your gift card does not fall out. Then I used 1/8" tear and tape along both sides, leaving that top area open so that your gift card could slide in. If you were to use liquid glue, you might have the chance of it oozing out and then not having enough room for your gift card to slide into. So remove the backing off of your tear and tape. Then bring in your wallet, and I decided to put it on the left-hand side with the opening to the left-hand side. And again, you can see why I spoke about the directional paper. I have my little deer facing upward in the wallet. You are going to line it up against the score line and toward the bottom there. They are also 4", and that first pattern paper that we laid down is also 4", so that there's more than enough room to cover and still leave that little red border up toward the top. So now you're going to take your middle piece, again line up your gift card. This time I used 2 pieces of the 1/4", then applied the 1/8" on both sides. Again, making sure that you have about a 1/2" overhang of your gift card so that it will show when you put it into those little pockets. Line this piece right up and right over the green piece of cardstock, or that first one that you adhered down. Then take your smallest piece of cardstock. Again, measure, make sure that you have about a 1/2" overhang. I only needed 1 piece of the 1/4" tear and tape to put on the bottom. Then again, the 1/8" on both sides. Remove your backing. And then lay it over the top of your second pocket. So you will have 3 pockets on the left hand side, and again, make sure that you're able to fold over the wallet and that you're not covering up that score line. So you can see how the gift card goes into each pocket quite nicely, but does not fall out. So now we're going to make our pocket for the right hand side, and you will need a piece of 3-inch by 2-inch pattern paper. You're going to score along the quarter, you are going to score a 1/4 inch along the bottom and both sides. So each of the shorter sides a 1/4 inch and along the bottom a 1/4 inch. Then you're going to take your piece of paper, and along those score lines you're going to fold them and burnish them. So again, you can see you have score lines on the bottom area and both sides. Then take your paper snips, and what you're going to do is cut off at the angle right at the cross section of those score lines, and this will help the pocket lay flat. You're also going to wedge off at the top of each side of the pocket, and again, this helps with it being able to lay nicely on the cardstock. Now, because it didn't matter if a little bit of glue oozed out of this, because it doesn't need to be quite as tight of a fit as the gift cards, I put glue on all 3 of those small flaps, lined it up toward the bottom on that right hand side, and adhered it down. And you can see I used the same color of paper as the middle on the left hand side. Then, so that you're able to write your sentiment, you're going to take a 3-inch by 3-inch piece of white cardstock, and then you're going to take 2 strips of 3 inches by a 1/2 inch so that you can adhere them to the top of that white cardstock, just to give it a little bit of a decorative border. And I used liquid glue for that. And now you have a nice little area to write your sentiment. You have an area to write another little note or put in some currency, and then 3 pockets for gift cards. So now we're going to make the closure for the wallet, and you will need a piece of 2 3/4 by 1 1/2 inch solid piece of cardstock, and you're going to score along the 2 3/4 inch side at a 1/2 inch. Fold and burnish it, apply double-sided tear tape to the inside, and then you will mat it with a piece of 2 by 1 1/4 inch pattern paper to go over the top. Remove your double-sided tape, Then take your wallet and adhere it to one side of your wallet. Then fold the flap over, and that will be your closure. Then you could just take your liquid glue and adhere that mat to the top of it, which again is 2 inches by 1 1/4. Now, so that it will be able to stay closed, you are going to take Velcro dots, and I just ordered these online. And I take each side and go ahead and stick them together, and that way you will make sure that you have a perfect alignment of them. Pull off one side of the Velcro dot, which will then reveal a sticky area. Apply it to the inside of the flap there, pressing down firmly on it. Then remove the other plastic piece that is covering the adhesive side of the glue of the Velcro dot, Fold it over your wallet and press down, and you have a perfect fit of your Velcro closure. Then do the same thing for your little coin purse. Again, 2 pieces of Velcro dots, stick them together, remove one side of the plastic, adhere it to the inside of the coin purse, remove the other plastic side to reveal the sticky side, and close your coin purse. And then you can gently remove it or open it up. Now, what we're going to do now is glue both of those together so that it forms a cohesive piece. And I decided to use liquid glue for this. And I applied liquid glue to both of the inside pieces. And as you go to line them up, I would line them up more closely toward the top than toward the bottom, because we're going to put something over the bottom. And so if they don't line up perfectly, it doesn't matter because we will be covering that up. So what you're going to do to cover that up is take a piece of pattern paper, which is 1 inch by 4 1/4 inch. You're going to score along the 1 inch side at a 1/2 inch or down the middle basically. Apply tear-in tape to both sides, and that's 1/4 inch tear-in tape. And that will cover up both of the bottoms of those little wallet, coin purse area. So it looks like it's one complete piece. Do one side, then remove the tear-in tape and stick down the other side. I am making these for my grandchildren to give to their teachers for the holidays. So now we're going to decorate the front. And what I did was use the paper pumpkin stamps that were from the October 2019 kit. And I loved that Seasons Greetings stamp, and it fit perfectly. So I took it and stamped it on a piece of Whisper White cardstock. I took my rectangular stitched frames and cut it out using the smallest frame. Then the next smallest frame, I cut it out of that shaded spruce cardstock, applied dimensionals, which again, if you place a $25 order from me, you will get free. I applied them to the back of the white piece there, and it gives a little bit of a dimension to the front of the card. Peeled off the backing, centered it over the green rectangle die. Applied liquid glue to the back of it and adhered it to the front. Then I happen to have some cherry cobbler, what my mother would call doodads, and adhered 3 of them around the sentiment there. And even though they are self-adhesive, I always put a little liquid glue just to make sure that they don't fall off. Now, to complete the decoration, I took a piece of 1 3/4, or it could be up to 2 inches of gold chain. I took a 9mm jump ring, split it open a little bit, took the jingle bells, 1 of each color that is in the holiday catalog, put them on that jump ring, then also the chain, closed them up with my hemostats, and these are absolutely fantastic for crafting. Now in a minute, I am going to leave on my original sound so you can hear that those jingle bells actually have a little jingle sound. And then I also have a blooper. Oh, there's always a blooper to share. So here's today's blooper. So here's our wallet, and I'm trying to figure out how to attach these little jingle bells to the card. These are what they are. Well, I used my crocodile and I poked a hole in there. and then I put in an eyelet there. But when I was hanging the chain, it was bending the cardstock. So then I put another layer over it to try to cover it up, and it still wasn't working. So I figured I need to figure out something else on how to attach this. So I will show you in my final card how I figure it out. So what I did to fix it was to cover the area where that hole was with another piece of the designer series paper, recover the back also, put on a new Velcro dot, and then these are some retired dies that are called delicate ornament thinlet dies, and I took just that small little swirl piece, and you could do any swirl die cut that you have. I cut it out 4 times, glued them on top of each other, so then that would give you a nice strong piece of cardstock. Put the chain over it, applied liquid glue to the back of it, and then adhered it to our little wallet. I really appreciate you joining me today. There is in the description box, there is a place where you can place your order. If you do want the free things, do not click on the do not contact box, as I will need to know how to get a hold of you and send your dimensionals, your rhinestones, or if you win, the hemostats. Again, thank you for joining me.